So yeah, we're down two players today. Brian is traveling what appears to be tropical locations for Christmas. Oh,
Is it Barbados?
yeah. Oh, the pain and horror of having to go to Barbados for Christmas. Um, and Carrie is going to a OSU game down in California. Um, Which is good news because evidently that means that they made it. I know the march. My nephew's in the marching band, and they got stuck on I-5 in the blizzard.
What part of the 5?
Yeah. It was closed both directions due to whiteout conditions. So.
Yeah, I mean, where at?
It was right at the border. So from what I understand, they were just leaving Oregon to cross the border, coming through the mountain pass, and it just shit on them.
Well, I have to go down probably in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, our weather is kind of topsy turvy. We're supposed to get snow here tonight. I don't think it'll last very long. I think they were saying it's only going to snow until like 5 or 6 in the morning, but.
Yeah, no, the mountains down here fucking have gotten hammered.
Yeah, they were expecting something like a foot of snow just this weekend, so.
Government right at the base of Mount Hood.
Yep.
Got what the fuck was it? A foot in a last weekend?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the weather all over this country is wacky. Well, like the weekend after we got back from Boston. Well, actually, no, it wasn't even the weekend. It was the day after we got back from Boston. We had just settled back in and were unpacking our luggage. And that entire area was getting an inch of rain an hour. Right. And I was like, people, oh my God, it's going to rain. We're expecting 2 inches of rain over the weekend. I'm like, yeah, try 24 in one day. So yeah, it's all kind of wacky. I mean, I would right now. I mean, with the temperature the way it is, I would not be expecting snow tonight at 9 or 10 o'clock. But evidently, that is what all of the models are saying is going to happen. So. So, welcome to Storm King's Thunder. We're going to be picking up where we left off last week. If you are watching on Twitch, if you scroll down, you should see some tiles there. If you don't see the tiles, click on my profile image, and those tiles should pop up for you, and each one of those will take you to these fine people's websites. It should be noted that none of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. We just really like the products that they make. The first on the list for Friends of the Greenwater Guildhall is the Speechless Bard. She and her husband make beautiful leather products for your tabletop role-playing games, such as leather covers for your core rulebooks. She has a full line of dice bracelets that are leather bracelets with dice shapes cut out on them. They come in a variety of colors and metallics, if you like to show off your geekiness. She has a leather dice rolling mat that when you roll it up, it looks like a spell scroll. And all of these items are completely customizable. She does all of the work by hand. She's an incredibly talented artist. She also even picks the leather swaths by hand. She doesn't order in bulk. If you're going to order for a gift or for yourself, you're going to want to give yourself a little bit of extra time. She is over in the UK, so it can take a little while to get over here, across the pond and through customs. The next on the list is the Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard Company makes beard products such as oils, balms, butters, and co-wash. They also have now a full line of eco-friendly, aluminum-free deodorants, and they have a full line of spray-on colognes. And each of their scent profiles is a different fantasy character. Today I am wearing the Gingerbread Man, one of their festive seasonal scents. But they have a ton of fantasy characters, so I'm sure that you can find a scent that is suitable to you. If you're a first-time purchaser, they do have a buy one, get one free option. Just go to fablebeardco.com and create an account. And if you put 2 beard oils into your cart and use the code FIRST in all capital letters, that second beard oil will be discounted to free. Next on our list, a newcomer, a shout out to Dogmight Games. Dogmight makes beautiful wood products for your tabletop games, such as dice trays and player vaults and DM screens and dice towers, and they have an amazing assortment of goods. All can be customized. They also have items that are currently in stock that you can order as well. Go ahead and check them out. And like I said, they have absolutely amazing products made here in the USA. If you are a fan of our Wednesday Night Traveler game, we do have a website via Obsidian Portal. If you click on that link, it will take you to that website. The adventure log is done in a manner of Traveler News Agency articles that details not just what the players are getting up to, but also the effects in the region that they are traveling through. And it's not updated every week, mostly because that would be completely unrealistic with the amount of time it takes for news to travel. But we update it fairly frequently. So definitely check it out and give us a fan like if you enjoy the content. So where we left off last week, you guys did a lot of stuff. So you rescued the villagers from the goblin warren in the Dripping Caverns, and they all got back to the village. They have started to rebuild. As you were coming back, you interrupted a small skirmish between an orc warband and wood elves of the Ardeep Forest. And then when you got back to town, the agents of the Seven Snakes showed up as friends of Kella Darkhope, and you're fairly positive. It hasn't been said outright, but it is fairly positive that they are members of the Genterim, of which your halfling rogue has kind of agreed to sign up with the Zents, and you will possibly have a contact through him in that route. So like I said, you've spent a night, so if you haven't, you can count that as a long rest. You get all your spell slots and hit points back. And actually, let me fix this. And so you've spent a couple of days here helping out around town, and the town is currently without, so there was the lady of the town. Probably help if I get my books out so I know these people's names. Sorry, it's been a long weekend and it's only Saturday morning. Let's see here. Lady Nandar, who is dead. So the town has no real leadership, and in light of that, Morok, the dwarf, the Stormshield dwarf that runs the Nightstone Inn and Tavern, has kind of taken on a leadership role. Not really forcing the issue. He is just kind of a natural fit for it. And he told you guys the very last part of last week, he bid you guys to travel to Goldenfields to find out or to seek out Miros. Miros was the son of the Zelbrins who were killed in town when a boulder crashed on them. They were an elderly couple. The only other thing that was living in the house with them was their Tressum named Rilix, who is now kind of bonded and hanging out with Smokey, the Bugbear Ranger. And he bids you to go to find Miros in Goldenfields, kind of give him the bad news, and return the Tressum to him should he want it. So that was kind of your plan, and you are packing up your stuff in the morning, getting ready to set out to Goldenfields. It's not very far from here. When you can hear the church bell ringing suddenly, and people all over the village of Nightstone are running and trying to take cover. And when you look up, you see an enormous tower floating on a billowy cloud 1,000 feet overhead. The tower must be hundreds of feet tall, and its spire looks strangely like a pointed wizard's hat. As the tower drifts closer, stairs made of cloud begin to form underneath it and descend toward the middle of the town. What would you like to do?
Probably get away from the middle of town.
Okay, so you're going to wave up. I mean, so Nightstone was just recently assaulted by a flying castle where giants had dropped boulders on the town. And so the villagers are kind of panicked. But they those that can see you kind of calm down a bit when you're just waving up. Nothing happens. You're just a staircase made out of cloud comes down. And you wave up, and poking their head out from over the top of the cloud cover, you see this cloud giant, and he kind of waves back at you. And then he gets up and goes back inside the tower.
Wow. I should probably go up the stairs.
How high up is the cloud giant?
1,000 feet.
That's going to be a long flight.
Yes, that's a long stairwell. They're made of clouds, so when you step onto the first step, it's kind of like a cloud escalator.
I'd have to pick a language other than Goblin and Common, and I did pick Giant.
That's a good idea.
Is there total elevator music playing?
Some Van Halen song on piano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Muzak.
Little Kenny G on the flute.
Oh, God.
Does Smokey inform us that they speak Giant now? I'll ask Smokey, yeah. Should we ask him what assurances we have that the stairway won't disappear halfway up?
I don't know. Can I yell it that far?
No, I mean, yeah, you can, but there's no response back.
I'll just go up first, and if I don't die, then I'll wave you guys up.
So you see Smokey ascend this staircase up into the clouds, and nothing bad happens. The Tressum kind of
like it's the rapture and glory up to the heavens as I'm bathed in sunlight going up my cloud escalator.
Okay. Hold on here. I have another map.
Yeah, Steve says he can test it out because if it does disappear, he can at least fly. I can go first.
I think Smokey already committed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already foolishly risked my life, so.
Okay. So you ascend the cloud stairs. The tower itself is resting atop a cloud that feels solid underfoot. There's an open archway here that leads into the tower. It leads into an empty vestibule. There is a translucent blue curtain that flaps in the breeze just on the other side of the vestibule. So what would you... Are you guys going to walk on in, or...
I'll waltz in.
All right.
I will follow the smokester.
Okay. Beyond the translucent curtain, you see a 100-foot high hexagonal chamber containing a giant-sized wooden table and stone chair. Dangling from the ceiling by iron chains are 6 crystal spheres that apparently have continual flame spells cast on them. These illuminated spheres keep the room brightly lit. The tower's second floor can be seen through a 20-foot wide hole in the soaring ceiling. Floating down from this 20-foot wide hole, you see a cloud giant. Hello. And I mean, not that you can't see who this guy is, but here is a more clear image.
Very distinguished looking giant with gauges.
Yes, yes. And he floats down through this hole to the center of this first floor room, and he says, "Greetings, my friends. My name is Zephyros." He tells you that he is a cloud giant wizard, and that he holds up his hands and he says, "You have no reason to fear me. I, in fact, hold small folk in a higher regard than most giants do." He says that he had, flying overhead, he had witnessed that the town had been damaged, and he saw the boulders that had been dropped, and he wants to know. He's like, what caused such devastation to this fine town?
They wanted to take some kind of obelisk in the middle of town.
He says, "Oh, interesting. He says, "Honestly, I've been aware of the obelisk in the middle of Nightstone for some time. I had assumed that it was some lost artifact of Osteria. Perhaps I was correct. I apologize for any confrontation that my fellow giant folk have caused to you." He says, he's described as an eccentric cloud giant with windswept white hair, a wispy white beard, and a billowy purple robe adorned with gold stars. He basically tells you that he has been just kind of drifting around. He talks of something. He says he says that he is researching the breaking of the ordning, is what he says. And he tells you that he has been traveling around in his tower, trying to discern a way to countermand this breaking of the ordning. And he says he's not sure. he thought that he would stop and examine the obelisk. Has clearly been taken, so perhaps he was on the right track. But he asked you. He says, "Did you know of any information about this obelisk?"
Do we?
Well,
I don't remember.
not really. I'm not even sure if you guys know what the ordning is.
No, yeah.
That was going to be Scaly's question. What's the ordinate?
So, Zephros tells you that the ordning is. He says it's kind of hard to explain to small folk, but the ordning is the hierarchical order of giant kind that has been passed down by the giant gods that basically tells the giants and giant kin of where they stand in the hierarchy. And of course, that places cloud giants at the top, well, close to the top. Of course, storm giants are at the very top, but then there's cloud giants and fire giants, frost giants. At the bottom of the rung is hill giants. And he says that everything below hill giants, giant kin, such as trolls and ogres and things like that, are, all at the bottom. But the ordning itself has been sundered. The gods have lost favor in giant kind, and so they have broken the ordning, which means that giants of all types are running out and trying to carve out their own niche to redo the ordning as they see fit. And he says that this has led to some very strange situations. He said that on the coast just north of Waterdeep, he says that he recently ran into a situation where a band of giants had been troubling a small village, and but the band of giants, it wasn't just frost giants or just fire giants. It was a mix. There were frost giants living with hill giants. In fact, a frost giant Jarl had actually taken a hill giant as a wife, and they were working together under a fire giant who was trying to create his own kingdom. The whole thing is maddening. So I'm trying to research this and find a way for giants to get back into the good graces of our gods so that they can reestablish the ordning to give giants some manner of order rather than this chaos.
Steve will walk into the room, packing his pipe, and be like, dude, you're just crazy. You're crazy with that.
He tells you, he says, again, he apologizes. He says, I am terribly sorry for what my kind has done to this village. As a repayment, would there be anything? Could I take you anywhere? My flying tower can take you anywhere that you would like to go. There's no need to travel by land. I can take you.
Yeah, we need to return this trust to the family, the next of kin.
Okay. He says Goldenfields is not that far. We can reach Goldenfields in about 3 days.
Cool.
So, I mean, that really shaves, on foot or even on horseback, it would take you, a week and a half to get to Goldenfields. So this actually really kind of helps you guys out quite a bit.
So he's like wizard. He's got to know spells like mend or whatever. Like if he wants to help more later, he can come fix buildings probably more quickly.
And as a matter of fact, he does know mending. And he tells you that he would be happy to come back to Nightstone after he deposits you at Goldenfields. He would be more than pleased to come back and cast mending on a couple of buildings, perhaps fix the bridge that goes from the Nandar Keep to the village itself, things like that, to help these people out.
Awesome.
He says small folk are hardy and hardy people, and most of them are quite trustworthy. He does tell you, he requests that while you are traveling with him, that you keep to the first floor. You're able, there are food stocks that he can bring down for you, and he kind of waves his hand, and you see a couple of large chests filled with food, loaves of bread and haunches of meat. And he brings them down and sets them on the floor so that you don't have to climb all the way up onto the table, because the table's like 12 feet above you. This table's huge. And he says, just stay on the first floor. You might want to stay inside, keep your arms and hands inside at all times, because this is a flying tower. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen for you to fall out. And he says the other reason for staying down here is at the very top of my tower is an eyrie, and I have 4 pet griffins that I keep up there, and they can sometimes be a little bitey to newcomers.
Well, I'm not going to break the rules. I don't have a death wish, so.
Yeah. Huh, weird. Hold on a second.
Are they riding griffins?
Yes, actually. Oh. No. They are just pets. They have not been trained as mounts, but they kind of came to him on their own, and they just created a nest up in the top floor, and they are awfully cute, so I've been feeding them. I know that that's probably a bad policy, but
Steve wants to go fly with them and pet them.
he's like, I don't think that's such a good idea.
Yeah, Steve's not bright.
So Steve, go ahead and make an animal handling check.
Steve rolled a 3.
Well, that's not a nat 1, so you don't get bit, but the griffins clearly are not okay with you coming near their nest.
They're just racist against demons.
Probably. They've been reading Twitter and, moving in the wrong circles.
Yeah, we need to get a better PR woman.
So Zephyros floats up to his second level, and you can feel the tower start to move and float gently through the clouds. Looking out the windows or out the vestibule, you can see you are thousands of feet up in the air, and everybody can make on the second day of your journey. Everybody make a perception check.
Yeah, 20.
Nice.
Scaly's perceptive at a 23, but not a nat 20.
17 for Steve. The paladin is working on it.
Okay.
for a 23.
Jesus. Okay.
Do we notice it?
Nothing's getting past you guys. So, Cletaris and Smokey are looking up the vestibule, and out in the distance, quickly approaching the tower, a huge silver dragon glides through the clouds, approaching quickly. As it flies closer, you see a number of armored dwarves are clutched in its talons. The silver dragon flies overhead and kind of just flicks its claws, and you see there are 5 dwarves in each talon, and it flicks its claws, and these dwarves roll and come to a rest right in front of the archway going into the tower. And you hear this this dwarf stand up, and he yells in, he says, "Hey, giant! If you are here to cause a problem, you need to come out right now and face your comeuppance."
Someone with a nice voice that's clearly not a giant should reply. Maybe Cletaris.
Steve's got a +4 to his charisma. But bro, what's with all the fighting?
So,
If I explain he's a nice giant, I don't think they would believe me.
So Steve, are you stepping out to ask this dwarf what the hell he's doing, or?
Cletaris is going to stop Steve from doing so and do it herself.
Okay. So, Cletaris, you step out into the vestibule looking through the archway, and you see these 10 dwarves. And what do you say?
Who there, dwarf? What brings you to this flying castle?
The dwarf kind of is taken aback, and he's like, "Well, we certainly didn't expect to see normal humanoid folk here. What are you doing traveling with a giant?"
Dave's not here, man.
Scaly jumps out. Who are you calling human folk?
Humanoid, Scaly. Where we're trying to figure out what happened to insert town name here.
To Nightstone?
Yeah. Trying to figure out what happened to Nightstone, and specifically the Nightstone.
Right. And he says, "So, is there no giant here? Are you in control of this flying castle?"
Yes.
We have leased it for a reasonable price.
Threat control.
Make a deception check.
12.
He says, "I think you're pulling me ham hock."
Figured I'd try it.
Steve will chime in like, no, we rented this from a nice ogre out in the valley.
Go ahead, make a deception check.
It was on Airbnb.
Literally, Air B&B.
Sorry, Cloud B&B.
Oh, that's a nat 1 + 4.
He bangs his battle axe against his shield, and all of the other dwarves immediately stomp and get into battle positions, and he says, "I know you're lying, there's a giant in there, and we're not going to have him put down any more of those boulders on top of Mithril Hall."
Well, what if he knows where we're going?
Well, are you sure you got the license plate correct? Because this guy didn't drop boulders, but we're chasing a guy that did drop some boulders. Like, you sure you got the right castle? There's a lot of them these days.
He says, "Are you meaning to tell me that this particular tower has nothing to do with the falling boulders that are happening all over the Savage Frontier?"
Are you saying that there's only one tower in the sky dropping boulders on the Savage Frontier?
Ooh, make a perception or make a persuasion check.
I know he didn't drop boulders on your town because at that time he was across town dropping boulders on a different spot.
24.
Nice.
He kind of stops and stands for a second, and he says, "Well, that thought had never occurred to me. You mean there's more than one of these contraptions?" And about that time, you hear a voice come up. You see the silver dragon come up, and before your eyes, it changes shape. It flies up past the cloud, changes shape into a halfling, and is standing on the cloud, kind of drops down and lands on the cloud. And the halfling says, "I was telling you this. There are many such flying castles. They're usually in the possession of cloud giants."
What the hell is this thing, then?
Scaly's eyes go sparkly like an anime. He wants to be a half-elf now because to him they all change into dragons. The now shape change dragon steps forward and he says, "I apologize. My name is Zindaros. And I've been trying to explain to my dwarf friends here that there are more than one of these flying castles and towers and whatnot. Why, there were many such creations in the great past, and cloud giants still hold the secret of making them fly aloft." And the dwarf says, "So let me get this straight. And I don't believe you that you're leasing it from an ogre. There's a cloud giant in here, and you're traveling with him. Is that right?"
He's giving us a ride to drop us off somewhere, and we're not allowed to go up past the first floor. So
I'm sure if you want to catch a ride, he might be willing. We can hang out, smoke a bowl, I hold up my pipe.
Cloud giant Uber?
Yeah.
So the dwarf turns to the half-elf dragon, and he tells him, he says, "It appears that you may have been correct. Not all of the giants are working together." And he says, the dragon tells him, he's like, "That's what I've been trying to explain to you. I suggest wholeheartedly that we return back to Mithril Hall to more appropriately deal with the damage that was dealt to it."
can we tell them about the ordning?
Sure, if you would like.
That might be helpful in explaining why some giants are jerks and other ones are not. So
Make a persuasion check.
got a 10. Not very good.
So you tell this to the dwarf, and he's like, "Oh, that's nonsense." But the dragon's eyes, his eyes get big, and he says, "No, that explains much." He says, This doesn't bode well." He says, "The dragon tells you that in ancient times, and you're talking thousands and thousands of years ago, far longer back than any written history that you would know of, he tells you that there was a great war between dragons and giants. And if the ordning has been broken, then that could possibly lead to giants trying to forge their own way, and in an attempt to regain, the dragon says, you have to understand that, and not that I'm putting praise on giants, but giants are actually fairly honorable warriors. They are very devout to their gods, and if the ordning has been broken,
this is going to cause an issue, not just for small folk, but for dragonkind. Because these individual warlords that are going to be trying to take power over the Ordning and put themselves at the top will see another conflict with dragons as being a gateway to gaining favor with their gods. And the silver dragon, who is a half elf currently, turns and looks to this dwarf and he says, "We must return to Mithril Hall immediately. We need to inform not only the dwarves of Mithril Hall, but we also need the brawn anvils and the battle hammers. But we also need to seriously convene a council and think about the possibility that we need to inform the Lord's Alliance, because it was only 3 years ago that we were dealing with the rise of Tiamat at the Well of Dragons. We certainly don't need this coming up now." And so the dwarf kind of nods and he says, "Well, I'm not entirely positive about you folk. You might be in league with the giants, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to keep our eyes on you." And you see all of the so you see the half-elf kind of do a swan dive off of the edge of this cloud and turn back into a silver dragon. And you see these dwarves all pull out a potion, drink it, turn into a gaseous form, and flow off the edge of the cloud and reform into dwarves in the dragon's claws. And you see the dragon fly northward and take off. For that interaction, I want to give Cletaris and Smokey inspiration points, if you don't already have them.
Thank you. Woo.
It's now the third day, and Zephyros calls down from upstairs and he says, "Oh, we should be coming upon Goldenfields in the next couple of hours, and I'll put down the stairs for you." But it is about that time that you see something else coming outside. Everybody make a perception check again.
Another 23.
Jeez.
Yeah, 14.
Steve's too busy getting high. He didn't see nothing.
Second on the halfling leaf.
23.
Okay. What about Smokey?
14.
So, Scaly and Cletaris, this time looking out the windows, climbing up on the edges and looking out the windowsills and looking out, you see, hold on here.
You know, for a cloud flying 1,000 feet off the ground, this guy gets a lot of visitors.
He does. You see, and you guys are going to recognize these guys. You see a flock of giant vultures. And all of these vultures have riders, and the riders are wearing feathered cloaks and are riding towards the castle, or towards the tower. And they set down on the edge here, and you see this guy step forward, and this guy step forward. And they call out, and they say, "Giant, we would like to speak to you, if you would have us inside, to talk about the ways of the howling hatred.
No, I already gave it the office last week. I'm good.
Clitoris is gonna step to the front door and just kind of be like, yes, how can I help you?
So to read this description, it says, on the third day of your journey, you spot 9 very thin and lightly armored humans riding giant vultures. They land atop a cloud, whereupon the humans dismount. All the riders wear steel helms that cover their eyes and resemble stylized bird heads. One of them is equipped with a shoulder bag adorned with a smiling face. And this guy, Amarath, he's got the bag with the smiling face, and he. So I'm sorry. What were you saying to them, Clitaris?
Go to the front entrance and just be like, hi, how can I help you?
Says, we are representatives of the cult of the howling hatred. We represent the great elemental elder god Yansi Bin. And we seek an alliance with the master of this flying tower. And as a sign of goodwill, and he holds out this smiling bag, we would like to offer this to the master of the castle. I'm sure that he can use such an item.
Well, he's not here right now, but I can take this for him. Is that okay?
Can Steve do a detect magic on the bag?
You can.
Can I also detect evil on these guys?
You can. So your detect magic spell, this guy's holding out this smiling bag. It is glowing with magic. It appears to be, and I don't know which aura this. I guess it would be transmutation aura. I'm guessing it's whatever aura would come from something that creates an extra dimensional space.
Abjuration?
Abjuration, maybe? Yeah. And as far as your detect evil goes, all of these guys are detecting as evil.
If there's time before Clitoris takes the bag, Steve would like to cast the cantrip message and whisper that info to her.
Okay. Clitoris, make a persuasion check.
21.
He says, the leader, Amarath, says, well, I don't know why we can't just speak to the master of the tower.
I just told you he's not here. Can I take a message?
Hold on here. He turns to he puts the bag strap back around over his shoulder, and he turns to the rest of them, and he kind of claps his hands, and all of them draw scimitars. He says, no, if the master of this tower isn't here, we'll take it ourselves.
Clearly it's occupied, guys.
Hold on here.
I can whisper back with message, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I believe you can reply.
Where? I did not grab that card. Where's that one?
Could you not grab message?
Where's the Zephyros? There's no book. Message. Point your finger, target, and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only Steve can hear.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess I'll whisper it to Arms.
Okay. Hold on here. Okay.
And Steve will just kind of look at Scaly and Smokey and be like, and give him that look of like, ah, shit, guys.
It's on. Bring it.
All right.
Done.
Let me throw you guys in here. I got one more guy here. Hold on. Okay. Oh, really? Fuck, that's terrible. All right. So, all of you go ahead and roll initiative. Oh, Scaly. Jesus. Jesus, guys. There's a good one. All right. Okay. Brutal. All right, so you see these guys pull out their scimitars. You've got the two leaders of these assholes right in front of you, Cletaris. What would you like to do?
Well, since they're not just gonna leave us with a pamphlet, I guess I'll smack him in the face with my longsword, show him that my sword's better than his sword.
Okay, so you can take a 5-step foot forward and whack him. You have no idea how many times I've wanted to do that when these guys knock on my door.
24 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope to shit that's more than double his AC.
And I'm going to smite on his face.
All right. Fuck him up.
Can I do?
Yeah, as a bonus action, you can cast a smite spell, and then if you connect, you can throw a divine smite on top of that. I mean, you could really fuck this guy up in the first hit.
Okay, so do the Thunderous Smite. It would be on this attack?
Correct.
Okay. So it's the D8, 2d6 thunder, and he has to succeed a strength or be pushed 10 feet away from me and prone.
Yeah, let me double check Thunderous Smite for just a second. Okay, so it's just to the target. Okay.
Yeah.
Which was what my question was. Because a lot of those thunder spells, it's like, oh, well, it does a 10-foot cube. But this is just to the target. So he needs to make a strength saving throw.
Yep.
He gets a 16.
Here's my save. Okay, so he succeeds on that, but he still takes damage.
Right. So, and you can, like I said, you can throw Divine Smite on top of that as well. So weapon damage plus Divine Smite plus 2d6 for Thunderous Smite.
Sure, why not? Go big or go home, right?
Right.
Well, if you're not going down that hard that fast, you might scare the rest off.
Great. Do you want all the damage separately, or is together fine?
Together is fine. He doesn't have anything special.
21 damage.
Ouch.
Kaboom.
Okay. So you smite this guy pretty hard, and he of course is bloodied from that, and he falls back, and the bag of holding, or the smiling bag is a bag of holding, falls to the ground and flops open, and out of the bag of holding, which I guess will be right here, comes out an invisible stalker. Of course, you probably don't see this because it's invisible. Let's see here. But I need to add him to the stack.
Detect them can detect it.
That's true.
So on my turn, we might become privy to it.
Okay, so the invisible stalker. Fuck, really? Jesus. Okay. All right. The invisible stalker gets a 22. All right, so you guys are only level 3 right now. You don't have another attack, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Navon, the other cult fanatic, probably Amarath's boyfriend, not confirmed, is going to step forward and he is going to make 2 dagger attacks with his Chris dagger, or his Chris knife. He mostly uses it for cutting steak. Yeah. He will miss with a 9. Soft 20 to hit on Clitaris.
inspiration to make him re-roll.
Okay.
I'm asking if someone wants to use. I don't have any. I'm just asking if someone has some to.
You said that was a nat 20?
No, it was a soft 20. It's only 1d4 plus 2 damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. For 4 points of piercing damage. And he seems really pleased with himself that he just knifed a paladin. Amarath is going to do the same thing. 2 dagger attacks. He's going to miss with an 8. Ugh. And he's going to miss with a 7. That's fucking bullshit. Giant vultures.
Told you my sword is better.
These 3 giant vultures take to the sky and fly up outside the second level.
He thinks the griffins won't like having other flying predators around.
Right. Yeah, that's probably not going to work out well for them. Actually, they're going to be here, and this guy's going to This guy's going to be here. And these 3 of these are going to fly up to the second floor. These 2 are going to move here and here, and they're going to hold their action to try and prevent anybody from leaving the tower. If they come into range, then they will make their attacks. Cultists, on the other hand, actually, these 3 are going to move down here. This cultist is going to move in. This cultist is going to move in. These cultists will ready in action to assist or wait until they can actually get in the archway. It seems things are rather crowded in the archway at this point. But these 2 cultists are going to try to help their fearless leaders with a scimitar attack on Cletaris. .22 to hit.
Dang.
Well, that 20 hits, but that 22 does not. So,
For 3 slashing damage. And the other one, soft 20 to hit for another 3 slashing damage. All right. Is that all of these assholes? Let's see. I guess it is. Miss Smokey, what would you like to do?
I want to yell up the hole in giant, like, help! And then, let's see, I move.
You hear from upstairs, oh, I hate these guys.
We all do. Okay. And then
Always riding around on giant vultures with their white shirts and black piano ties.
Then, let's see. Can I reach anybody, or do I have to use?
Yeah, you could get, hold on here, let me find out which one this is. Yeah, you could get Navon, the other cult fanatic.
Okay.
Going for a little stabby.
With my short sword. So, yeah, short sword. Yeah. That's 13 to hit.
That hits.
Cool. for 7 piercing.
Okay.
And then I got one more. That hit. That's like 7.
No, 7 does not hit.
Okay.
Okay, so Navon is stabbed, but still up. Oh, let's see here. Steve the Devil, what would you like to do?
Oh, the doorway's pretty well blocked.
Yeah.
Fireball. That's true.
Yay. Do I have a clear line of sight on anybody if I say step to here?
So it depends. I mean, are you flying?
I was just gonna step to there. There's a 5-foot step around the corner, just kind of see the doorway a little better.
If you were able to take another 5-foot step here, you would have a clear line on Navon.
I would imagine the ceiling's pretty high here since it's a giant's house. How high is the door so you can fly up?
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Let's see. It is 100 feet high. So, yeah.
The doorway is? How tall is the doorway?
The doorway's like maybe 80 feet high because it's an archway. But the octagonal chamber, the first floor, is 100 feet up to that hole in the ceiling.
Well, I guess I could use, let's see, going from there.
So, yeah, you could fly up, 30 feet and have a clear line of sight on anybody over the top, over the heads of these guys. Over Smokey and Clitaris.
Well, then I will do fly, which the thing should get me to here, going up above them.
Okay.
Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too great.
So your flight isn't actually casting a spell, right?
No, it's just pure
Right.
movement.
Okay. Because you got tiefling wings, right?
Yeah. And as I'm going up, I will cast Burning Hands onto, right there to get these guys.
Okay, so you can get, let's see, you can get a giant vulture, a cultist, a cult fanatic, and another cultist.
Cute. Well, then they get a reflex save for half.
Okay, so the cult fanatic, we'll start with him. He rolls an 18.
That succeeds.
The cultists...
DC is 14.
The cultists only get an 8. The giant vulture only gets an 8. So half damage for Amrath, but the others will all take full damage.
That is 9 total damage.
Okay. So 5 for him. Let's see, the giant vulture. Is unhappy about that. Do you smell burning feathers?
Mm-hmm.
And the cultists. Ooh, these two cultists drop.
Yay.
Going for the high score. Okay. Anything with a bonus action?
No, that's about it.
Okay.
I don't really have much bonus actions at this point in the game.
Scaly,
What would you like to do?
Are there any windows out of this glorious cloud tower, or is he viewless?
It is viewless on the first floor. There are windows on the second floor.
Well, then I guess I'll just have to do this. I'll move up towards the center and cast Entangle. 20-foot square. Does that mean 20 by 20 or 5? Be hard for it to be 20 feet worth of squares.
5, 10, 15. It would be a 4 square block.
So it's not 4 by 4, it's 4 squares?
I believe so. It says 20-foot square or 20-foot cube.
20-foot square.
So yeah, it would be 2 by 2. 5, 10, 15, 20 would be a 4 block square, or would it?
Well, let me see what I can find in Tangle area.
I would say 20-foot square would be 4 by 4 because they're 5 feet each. Yeah.
It's basically like radius, but not circular. No, it's a diameter.
The forearm posts refer to 20 feet on a side emanating from a center point.
Right. So yeah, it would be 4 by 4.
Okay. Then I will do that. There.
Okay.
And creature in the area must succeed on a strength save. And my strength DC 13.
Okay. Let's see here. Giant vultures. There's 3 of them in there. So they save with a 13. So that area is difficult terrain for them. Fanatic Amarath only gets a 9. He is restrained.
Yep.
The invisible stalker, I don't know if it even applies to them. Let's see here. They're immune to that. So that gets all of those. So the vultures, so Amarath is restrained. The vultures consider this to be difficult terrain, and the invisible stalker doesn't care.
Okay, and then I will stare at them.
Okay.
I'm not
Upstairs.
the wild shape yet.
Upstairs, Zephros. Let's see here.
Actually, I say go away or I will taunt you a second time.
Zephyros casts Fireball out here.
He does not like these guys.
Let's see here. So 23 points of damage. The question is, did they same? No, they did not. These 3 giant vultures are instantly incinerated in the fireball. And then he moves over here and jumps on top of his bed. The invisible stalker
I like how they had to put into the stat block. The invisible stalker is invisible. Oh, shit.
If they didn't, some rules lawyer would say, well, it's in his name, but not in his stat.
Yeah, right. Some dickhead on Twitter would first argue that and then say, well, you're racist for calling him invisible. He prefers to be called perceptually challenged. Thank you. He will move in here. So Cletaris and Smokey, if you would like, you can make attacks of opportunity at disadvantage as he moves through your space.
Sure.
What's their AC?
14.
Okay. I made my first attack.
Well, you only get one. So how much damage did you do?
Let me check. 7.
Okay.
I did 4.
Well, you don't get one yet because he's actually moving in to attack you.
Oh, okay.
So
Is the Tresson gonna freak out?
yeah, the Trussum freaks out and raises its hackles and hisses. It knows that there is something invisible there. It is then going to make 2 slam attacks on Scaly. 21 to hit.
Yep.
For 13 points of bludgeoning damage. And the second attack, let's see here. He's immune to being prone. His second attack, he overswings on his slam attack, and you know exactly where he is. You can make a attack of opportunity on him, and it is not at disadvantage. It is, you see this thing briefly.
I don't think a 7 hits.
No.
Worse with no disadvantage.
Duh. All right.
So he did damage while Entangle's out. I have a concentration check to make.
Yes.
Is that just a con roll?
Yes. What level is Entangle?
First.
So it would be a DC 11. Oh, I'm sorry. No, DC 10.
Okay, I made it 20.
Okay. Cletaris, what would you like to do? If you want to attack the cult fanatic right in front of you, he is at... You have advantage on your attack because he is restrained.
Well, then I'm attacking him.
All right.
19 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
4 damage.
Okay. Did you want to throw a divine smite on that?
Is he the guy that I hit before?
Yes, but he's still up.
Nah.
Okay. Okay. Navon is going to make... As soon as I can find him. There he is. He is going to try 2 dagger attacks on Smokey. He's going to miss with a 9. Oh, fuck me. Here we go.
I'm going to use my... Never mind.
He misses and falls prone. Trips over Cletaris's boot and falls prone. Amarath
is going to try to make a strength save to free himself and fails with a 3. So he is still restrained. Giant vultures. This giant vulture is going to move in. And this giant vulture is going to move in. And this giant vulture is going to move here. And the 2 giant vultures are going to attempt to make attacks on Clitaris, one with a beak and one with a claw on each of them. So, first attack is going to miss with a beak, and that is only a 6. The talons, 15 to hit.
15 misses.
Okay, the second one is going to make his beak attack. Are you fucking for real? Clitaris, you get a free attack of opportunity on the vulture because he sticks his neck way out.
16.
That hits.
8 damage.
Okay. And he squawks and is bleeding through his partially burnt feathers. Cultists are going to, let's see here, 5 feet? He can't quite get in there. And neither can he. Okay. Well, you guys are holding this choke point pretty well. They can't really do anything. Smokey, you've got this, you've got Navon, the cult fanatic in front of you. You have advantage on your attacks because he is prone.
Alright, I'll attack him then. Ooh, best I did on that one was a 10.
10 is a miss.
Okay, I'll try. Ooh, okay. 23.
That hits.
With 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Well, that's smarts. He's not dead, but ain't nothing. All right. Steve the Devil, what would you like to do?
Well, this guy over here,
Yep.
I'm going to cast Infestation on him.
Oof. So he gets what, a con save?
Constitution save
Okay.
of 14.
He gets a 15.
Damn. Well, then, so much for that.
All right.
I will use movement because I can't hover. I will circle around and into black over here.
Okay. All right. Scaly, you are toe-to-toe with an invisible stalker.
Now, if I cast a range spell, does he get no way, or is it just a disadvantage, or what happens there?
Who are you casting the range spell on?
The southernmost vulture.
You'd be at disadvantage because you're shooting through Clitaris. The invisible stalker doesn't get an attack of opportunity, though.
And is this vulture within 5 feet of the restrained guy?
Yes.
Okay.
And another 2 vultures.
Ice knife at the back vulture.
Okay. So go ahead and make your 2-hit roll.
Let's see. I saw 21 on the first hit
That's a hit.
for 10 points to that guy.
And then they have to make a save.
But the restrained guy is at disadvantage.
Right. So, Cult Fanatic, Amarath. What kind of save is it? Dex? Okay. 14 to save for Amarath.
Yeah.
And the Vultures get a 15.
Ah, crapper. Suck you, Ice Knife.
Let's see here. Zephyros casts another fireball. The Vultures fail. And just out of pure enjoyment, I'm going to roll all these dice. I don't get to do that very often. $25 points of fire damage. These vultures die. They make the sound of Japanese zeros falling from the sky. And Zephyros then moves through the hole and comes down into the first floor. Invisible Stalker is going to attempt to make 2 slam attacks on Scaly.
Scale.
Hold on, I gotta clean up my dice here. Jesus. All right. First slam attack. 15 to hit.
Yep.
Okay. For 13 bludgeoning.
Yep.
And second slam attack. 17 to hit.
Yep.
For 7 bludgeoning.
Down because I didn't wild shape.
Go! Wah, wah. Okay. And then the Invisible Stalker is going to move, and his next turn he will try to deal with Smokey. Cleitaris. So you can make your attack on Amarath at advantage, or you can make an attack on the Invisible Stalker right behind you at disadvantage.
I'll take the advantage.
That's right. A dead opponent doesn't shoot back.
21 to hit.
Yes.
And 16.
I thought you rolled with advantage.
It must have fallen over because it wasn't a 19.
Was when I was watching it.
Oh, well, then higher than
I'm
that.
gonna try that next time I'm playing craps at an Indian casino. Hey, I saw that was 2 6s. I mean, I wonder if that works for other games. I saw that land on 23 black. I mean,
Right?
you all saw it. It just jumped out.
Well, either way, it's not a possible critical, so.
You don't need a critical to kill this guy.
8 damage?
Okay, so you stab him all the way through, and now his corpse is being held up by these entangling vines.
Well, when I went down, the entangle left.
Oh, that's right. So, well, it doesn't matter. He's dead. Fuck that guy.
That's creepy. Can I just kind of like kick him off the thing?
Yeah, just boot him. Yep. He rolls off the cloud.
Well, after we loot him, I'll just kick him off.
Yeah, you probably don't want to kick him off just yet. Oops. All right. Navon is going to use half his movement and stand up because he meant to do that.
Is the guy who died the Invisible Stalker's master?
Technically, yes, but he didn't name a target.
Ah,
It just, the bag opened, and the invisible stalker just kind of fell out. Navon is going to make 2 dagger attacks on Clitaris. And fuck it up with a 7 and a 16.
Both of those miss.
Okay. Oh, he sucks so bad. Amrath is dead. Giant vultures. This giant vulture is going to fly up and attempt to attack Steve. So he is going to make a beak and talon attack on Steve. 16 to hit with the beak.
That hits.
Okay. For 6 points of piercing damage.
Damn ankle biter.
And then his talon. Nah, he misses with an 8, I'm sure. This vulture and this vulture are both going to make beak and talon attacks on Clitaris. First beak misses with a 9. First talon, nat 20. For 18 points of slashing damage.
Is it possible to inspiration to make him reroll that shit?
Yes, you can. No, then he misses with a 6. And you burn an inspiration.
Haha.
Second giant vulture, beak. Misses with an 11. Talon, 18 to hit.
You said 18?
Correct.
That hits.
For 13 points of slashing damage.
I don't like that either.
And I'm fresh out of inspiration points. Let's see here. The cultists are a little bit concerned because their rides are dead. These guys are going to move in and ready an action to step forward if they can and make an attack. The vultures and Navon are pretty much taking up their space. Smokey, you have a cultist right in front of you, this guy, and there is an invisible stalker right behind you. Attacks on the invisible stalker, which are quite honestly the most dangerous. He is the most dangerous opponent, but he's invisible, so all attacks on him would be at disadvantage.
If the Tressum attacks it, is it at disadvantage?
So the Tressum, you can call the Tressum. The Tressum can give you the help action, which would just make it a regular attack.
Okay. I think I'll give that a shot. Damn it. I rolled, okay, it's like 7. Yeah. There's no way that hits for the first attack.
Let me double check. You.
Yeah. The second attack, though, I got a 24.
That hits.
And 9 piercing.
Okay. All right. Steve the Devil, you have a giant vulture on you. I mean, who hasn't had that before? I used to work at a strip club. Happened to me every Friday night.
So I'm gonna continue Steve's circling pattern and fly out this way.
So if you do that, the giant vulture gets an attack of opportunity on you.
It has to be because with the wings I can't hover, so I have to maintain movement.
Okay. So he.
You can fly a circle around the vulture.
Yeah, that's a good point because the vulture can't really. The vulture can't hover either. Yeah, they don't really cover that in the rules. So he is going to make a talon attack. Yeah, doesn't matter anyways because he got a whole whopping 7.
Well, I noticed with a lot of the flying creatures when I was reading them up, it will specifically state whether or not they can hover.
Correct. I will be real honest. And this was actually a problem. This is an ongoing problem all the way back to Basic Edition. So, I mean, this has been a problem for 50 years. Flight is problematic. Your DM really has to work hard to make flight work. It's an issue. So you move over there. He misses. What would you like to do?
This little guy right here.
You gonna send him to wee all the way home?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Uh, 14.
That hits.
So then he will take the D10 and I will pull him in a straight line to me, which is up and diagonal. So hopefully dropping him off the cloud.
Correct.
3 damage.
Okay.
And he goes, whee!
All right. Yeah, it doesn't really matter for him because he's going to fall 1,000 feet and die. He goes screaming all the way down.
Like Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey after about 30 seconds, like, fuck.
Right. Scaly, what would you like to do?
Make a death save.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
I like not to die.
So I guess the 6 is my first failure.
That is a failure. Let's see. So 4. Wait, yeah. Zephryos casts Magic Missile at 6th level on the invisible Stalker for a total of 8d4 plus 8.
Wow.
Nine. For 30 points of damage. It is not dead, but that stung a little bit. Okay. The invisible Stalker is going to... It's going to make 2 slam attacks on Smokey. Now, it's going to make 1 slam attack on Smokey and 1 slam attack on Clitaris. I'll spread out the pain. On Smokey, 19 to hit.
Yeah.
For...
Can I use my reaction for protection?
You can. Yes, you can. So
Disadvantage.
15 to hit.
Nope.
Okay, so it misses Smokey, and its slam attack on Clitaris misses with a 10. Woohoo! Clitaris, what would you like to do? You have multiple targets. You could make a disadvantage attack on the invisible stalker. You've got 2 vultures and a cult fanatic in front of you. The cult fanatic is the most injured, I would believe. Yeah. I don't know. The vultures aren't feeling real good either. You might want to be pulling out any more smite spells for a bonus action, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that. Okay. I'm going to attack. What's his face?
Who, what now?
The guy that's in the doorway.
So, this guy?
Yeah.
Yep, that is Navon.
Does an 18 hit?
Yes, does.
Sweet. Okay. So I am going to use my final smite on that.
Okay. Fuck him up.
If I give Scaly temporary hit points, will that heal him, or would that not?
Yes.
Okay. So damage is 12.
Okay.
And I'm using Inspiring Smite, which is immediately after dealing damage with a Divine Smite, I can distribute 2d8 plus my level in temporary hit points among myself and my allies within 30 feet.
Okay.
So 8, 11. How down is Smokey?
He's at 0.
I'm not injured at all. So
Oh, well,
It's scaly.
Oh, sorry.
I was asking how injured Smokey was.
Oh.
I know that. And we're scaling it down. Then I'm going to 8 points to Scaly and the remaining 3 to myself.
Okay. So, Scaly, this is weird. You actually are at 0 hit points, but you have 8 temporary hit points, which rouses you to consciousness, but you're still not feeling great.
Sure.
So it's inspiring, kind of like, hey guys, bask in my glory as I smash this guy.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
That seems a little egotistical there.
all right. Navon, with his whole 5 hit points left, takes the disengage action and mounts this wyvern, or I'm sorry, this vulture. The vulture then takes the disengage action and they run away. Effectively putting them out of the fight. And they yell something, he yells something back to the tune of, "You'll be sorry."
We already are.
Yes.
What a bitch.
This giant vulture is going to fly over and make a beak and claw attack on Steve. There we go. Beak attack. 17 to hit. I'm sorry, 18 to hit.
18 hits, and I'll hellish rebuke him for his efforts after the attack.
Okay, so his beak, he pecks at you for 8 points of piercing damage. And your hellish rebuke, he gets a dex save, correct?
Correct.
17 to save.
That saves for half. 14, he will take 7 total.
Well, I guess that doesn't matter because he seems to catch fire and fall out of the sky.
I bite my thumb at him like a Shakespearean play.
Yes. The other giant vulture is going to make a beak and claw attack on Clitaris. 11 misses. Talon attack. Ugh. Another 11 misses. The cultists are excited about this. This cultist is going to move in and attack Smokey. They're like, yay, we get to do something. 18 to hit with a scimitar. Yep, okay. Wait. Ow. For 2 points of slashing damage. Look out. This cultist moves in and is going to make a scimitar attack on Clitaris. Soft 20 to hit for 8 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
This cultist climbs on the back of the vulture, and that's all he can do this turn. Smokey, what would you like to do?
I will.
Nope, Smoke. Not.
Cure
I know. I
Wounds.
did the same thing. Smokey, we're not to Scaly yet.
I'm gonna attack the cultist in front of me.
Okay.
That's 16 to hit.
That hits.
8 points of piercing damage.
All right. He is regretting his life choices. Your next attack.
11.
That misses.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Steve the Devil.
Steve will continue his circlings to over here and burning hands in that direction to hopefully get that group in front of the door.
Okay, so cultists get a 15,
That is the save.
so they will take half damage. Vulture gets a 15, so he will
Yep.
take half damage.
Hopefully it's still enough. Yeah. 10, they will take 5 total.
Okay. So Vulture is at 8. Cultists are all at 4. They are unhappy about this. All right. Now, Scaly, what would you like to do?
I will finally cast Cure Wounds on myself at second level.
Okay.
Woohoo! 17 points.
Nice. Anything with a bonus action or movement?
Bonus, I might as well healing word myself.
All right. That never hurts.
5 more.
It's the back teen with the Band-Aid turn.
Yep. Thank you for the temporary hit points that got me up.
You're welcome.
And then I will move a safer distance behind our benefactor.
Okay. Let's see. Zephros.
A little like Cringer and He-Man. I was all brave and bold until I almost died.
Right, yes. He's going to cast another magic missile at 5th level. So let's see here. For 7d4 plus 7 damage on the invisible stalker. For 26 points of damage. Okay. The invisible stalker is going to split up his attacks once again. One slam attack on Cleitaris, one slam attack on Smokey the Bugbear. First slam attack on Cleitaris. 22 to hit.
Yep.
For 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm down.
Dun, dun. And a slam attack on Smokey. 15 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So Cleitaris, make a death save.
If I pass out, do I revert to, like, quote unquote normal changeling form?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I'm no longer an elf.
Right. So, yeah. So you guys see Cleitaris drop and change to this deathly white, pale creature wearing paladin armor.
Well, that's pretty shocking.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay, so I need to make a...
So roll a d20 and you want to get a 10 or better. If
okay.
For a success, below a 10 is a failure.
I need a 10 or better, right?
Yep.
Good, because I rolled a 10.
Your first success.
Yay!
Steve yells at the other guys, do all elves turns look like that when they die? That happen to all of them?
Yeah, Scaly probably can't see it, which is probably good. Navon ran away because he's a chicken shit pansy. Let's see here. This giant vulture runs away. And so this cultist and this vulture are out. This cultist, who is burned very, very badly, is going to run up. You got one success, Cleitaris? On your death saves, that's correct?
Yeah.
These two cultists are going to try coup de grace. First scimitar attack. 18 to hit.
Yeah.
So you get one failure The second cultist, soft 20 to hit, you get 2 failures.
So does that mean I die?
Nope, you have to get 3 failures to die, but you have 2.
I will use my inspiration point that I had to re-roll one of those hits.
Okay.
Well, you said that I got one.
So 10 misses. So you only have 1 failure.
You have 1 pass, 1 fail.
The third cultist is going to try to make a scimitar strike on Smokey. 13, I'm sure, misses. All right. Smokey, the bugbear, what would you like to do? Oh, Cameron, you'll like this. I just read stats for for Traveler. A psionic ship's cat. It can teleport through walls.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you're trying to find your cat and it ducks behind the refrigerator, and you're like, where the fuck did the cat go? It teleported through the wall. But the cool thing about the cat, the ship's cat, is that if and we do use the psionics rolls, or not the psionics rolls, the sanity rolls. So like if you fail your morale checks and your crew is gaining sanity points because they've been working too hard, the ship's cat will go and comfort them, and it counts as comfort so they can get sanity points back.
Yay. That's cool. I'm feeling pretty invincible. I've only lost 2 hit points, so I'm going to dump the potion of healing I have into Cletus' face.
Okay.
It just says potion of healing, so I don't know how many points I get back.
You guys all hear da 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 da.
So, let's see here. $2d4 plus 2. Okay. Do I roll it or the?
You would roll it.
Oh, okay. Just gotta find. Okay, there's a d4. 4. 2 plus 2 is 8.
All right. So Cletus, you are up with 8 hit points, and none of your failures or successes. They're all back to 0, and you have 8 hit points. All right. Anything with your bonus action, you could stab somebody. Smokey.
Yeah, I'll stab the person right in front of me then.
Okay.
That would be 19 to hit,
Yes.
and 5 points of piercing damage.
All right. So you pour the potion down Cletus's throat, and then you turn around and just literally with your left hand just kind of poke the guy. And you're when you pour the potion, you're like, I'm a good person. Then you go, well, I'm just okay. And so that guy dies.
One hand and stab with the other.
Yes. Yes. It's a bartender trick. At least at the bars I've worked at. Steve the Devil, what would you like to do?
I will continue my circling and end up over here is, and I will Eldritch Blast that guy and attempt to pull him off the cloud as well.
Okay.
Wrong guy. 14.
That hits.
10 damage, and he's pulled 10 feet.
Well, he's dead before you even pull him. You just pull a corpse and yank it off the cloud.
Now you're just littering.
Gotta keep the house clean.
Right.
I feel bad for whoever's down below.
I know, right?
Poor ladies just walking down the road to go to town.
just bodies falling all over the Sword Coast. Scaly, what would you like to do?
I will move forward and cast what's called Healing Word on our other formerly dead compatriot.
Okay.
And so that is D4 plus 3. Hold on. To that. Well, 4 points is more than 0.
Yeah. Can't hurt. So Cleitaris gets another 4 points. I mean, you've got some movement left. Did you maybe want to do a bonus action?
That is a bonus action. I can use my regular action to wild shape, but there's...
Well, I mean, you could move forward and make an attack. It's not a disadvantage because the Tressum is giving you advantage, so that cancels it out.
Yeah, that invisible stalker did not make my day better, so I'm keeping my distance.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Zephros.
You can call me Scary now.
Zephros is going to do another 5th level magic missile for 7 plus 7 or 7d4 plus 7 damage.
Yeah, you're just unconscious.
Yeah. As a side note, I do still look like an elf. The stuff that I read said that I don't change back until I die. I didn't die.
Okay. Man, he does another 29 points of damage on the invisible stalker. The invisible stalker is pretty fucked up, to be honest. Somebody could put him down. But he's still standing, and in being an invisible stalker, he doesn't really give a shit about his hit points. He's not going to retreat. He is going to... Let's see, there's no vultures left. There's one cultist. The invisible stalker is going to make a slam attack on Cleitaris and Smokey the Bugbear. On Cleitaris, 21 to hit.
Minutes.
For 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oy.
And on Smokey, misses with an 11.
I'm just lucky today.
Yeah, you are. Cleitaris, what would you like to do? You have the cultist down here. You have the invisible stalker up here. You're not at disadvantage to attack the invisible stalker because the Tressum is giving you advantage with the help action.
Well, that's nice and stuff. I'm at 1, so I'm going to heal myself.
Okay?
You don't mind. I'm going to take out my Healy stick. And...
Help yourself.
Yeah.
When you look at your party, you touch yourself?
Yep.
All right.
Oh yeah, I forgot I have that too, but I'm going to use my Healy stick.
Okay.
You're in public, stop opening your stick out.
I'm going to whip my stick out. There we go. There's the die.
So, you're right. So, the rest of the party does not know that you are a changeling. Because you didn't die.
I get to avoid that kerfuffle for a little while longer.
Yes.
Keep up the ruse.
Okay. Smack myself with a Healy stick and continue on my merry way, I guess.
All right. So how many hit points do you get back?
10.
All right. The cultist is going to try and hit you with a scimitar, but he misses with a 13 because, you know, he's a cultist. He tried to hit you with a pamphlet and missed. Smokey, the bugbear, what would you like to do? You've got this invisible stalker like right in your face.
I should probably hit them, and I forgot that I had the Hunter's Mark thing as a bonus action, so I'll do that first.
Okay, so Hunter's Mark on the invisible stalker.
I'm a dice. There. Sweet. 24.
That hits.
Find a D8. 13 points.
Ugh. And the invisible stalker goes down.
Sweet.
It makes that sound too. You can move. If you want your bonus attack, you can attack the cultist.
I will do that.
All right.
That's a 15.
That hits. Shit, I think Smokey's the hero of this game.
Yeah.
5 points.
And the cultist goes down.
Take that, cultist.
Okay. So, you guys all get back into the room, and Zephros apologizes to you profusely. He's like, I am so sorry. I hate those guys. The Elder Elemental cults seem to be all over the Sword Coast these days. I really hope somebody's going to do something about them. He suggests that before descending to Goldenfields, that you all take a long rest and get your spell slots and hit points back and have a hearty meal before descending, because he is totally apologetic. You are welcome in my home to heal up.
Do we get the bag of holding?
You do get a bag of holding, yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I've heard of some pushy religions, but dang, bro, like your neighborhood's bad with that.
Yeah, he said that he's heard that there are these elemental cults and that they've been causing problems in the Desserin Valley down below in the towns of Red Larch and Salmonvale. Which goes back to our very first campaign. So you can take a long rest. The floating tower, he goes back up and he raises it up above the cloud layer for you guys to spend a night and not, freak out the people of Goldenfields. You get all of your spell slots and hit points back, and you all get 4th level. So go ahead and level up, and I will be right back.
Is it possible that I could have picked up a scimitar?
Sure. If you want a scimitar, you can have a scimitar.
Cool.
So it's funny. So the YouTube channel for our games has picked up a lot of steam in the past month. Our views are exponentially rising, and it's funny what happens when that takes place, because I'm getting all sorts of offers and weird emails. So, like, I got an offer from a game company that specifically does graphic arts. And they're like, oh, well, you know, we do all these graphic arts, and if you're interested, then we can do specific graphic arts for your game, and blah, blah, blah. They gave me, like, references and stuff that they've worked on some really famous stuff. I'm like, huh, okay, interesting. That's cool. I can't afford you, but yeah, I'm like, I can't afford you, but that's fucking awesome. Thanks for recognizing that we exist. So evidently my new video techniques have paid off. Only cost me like $50, but you got to spend money to make money, right? Got to spend money to become famous. So, you guys, so are you all leveled up? I take it?
Yep.
So you guys spend the night at 2,000 feet above Goldenfields. The next day, Zephyros lowers the tower and again extends the cloud escalator. And as you're getting ready to leave, he floats down to the first floor and he says, my friends, and he's carrying this big chest. Like, it's a giant sized chest. And he sets it down on the floor and he says, before you leave, I would like to offer you some items that may help you in your journeys. Let's see here. He's not going to give you a spell book, so that's for sure. So he hold on here. Zephros wants to give you holiday tidings. And you guys get to make 3 rolls on table F. So who wants to make the first D100 roll?
I've been lucky today. I'll make it.
Okay.
Steve has been rolling like crap. Steve does not think he should roll.
33.
Oh shit, this is going to be fucking awesome. So he pulls out of this chest a broom. He says, this may give you some use. It is a Broom of Flying.
Sweet.
Hold on here.
Steve needs a broom of flying.
This wooden broom, which weighs 3 pounds, functions like a mundane broom until you stand astride it and speak its command word. And he gives you the command word, of course.
It then hovers beneath you and can be ridden in the air. It has a flying speed of 50 feet. It can carry up to 400 pounds, but its flying speed becomes 30 feet while carrying over 200 pounds. The broom stops hovering when you land. You can send the broom to travel alone to a destination within 1 mile of you if you speak the command word, name the location, and are familiar with that place. The broom comes back to you when you speak another command word, provided that the broom is still within 1 mile of you.
Awesome.
So, who wants a Broom of Flying?
Can I be flying scaly?
That's a fancy broom.
Go for it. Go for it, Scaly.
All right, so we'll now have Scaly the Witch. Which is funny that you rolled that right after I complained about flying in 5th edition. So who wants to make the second D100 roll?
I'll make a roll.
Okay.
$84.
Ew. He pulls out a silvery helm. Hold on. The Broom of Flying. The Broom of Flying is a wondrous item. It is uncommon. It does not require attunement.
Cool.
He pulls out this silvery helm with gold inlay, and on one eye there's a purple crystal over one eye. This is a wondrous item, uncommon. It does require attunement. It is a Helm of Telepathy. While wearing this helm, you can use an action to cast the Detect Thoughts spell with a save DC of 13. As long as you maintain concentration on the spell, you can use a bonus action to send telepathic message to a creature you are focused on. It can reply using a bonus action to do so while your focus on it continues. While focusing on a creature with Detect Thoughts, you can use an action to cast the Suggestion spell, save DC 13, from the helm on that creature. Once used, the Suggestion property cannot be used again until the next dawn. So, who would want a Helm of Telepathy?
Anybody mind if I take the fancy hat?
Not at all.
So yeah, you want to put down Helm of Telepathy, save DC 13. If you want to just shorthand it, we can look it up when we need to.
Okay.
Suggestion, basically once per day. Or once per dawn, rather. And who wants to make the last roll, D100 roll?
I'll do it if someone else wants to.
I mean, I can. I'll sure why not. I'll do it.
Okay.
Let's see. What do we got? 99.
I don't know what this does.
Well, that sounds terrible.
That's not necessarily true. It just means I've never, ever given this out. So, let's see here.
Hooray for weirdness.
It is a wondrous item, uncommon, does not require attunement. He pulls out a redwood and silk fan with an embroidered image on it of cherry blossoms.
While holding this fan, you can use an action to cast a Gust of Wind spell. Save DC is 13. Once used, the fan shouldn't be used again until the next dawn. Each time it is used again before then, it has a cumulative 20% chance of not working and tearing into useless non-magical tatters.
Huh. That's probably pretty useful for Steve flying around, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like a monk item, really.
What was that?
It's kind of a monk item, but it's called a wind fan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I have enough push and pull abilities that it's not gonna help me a great deal.
Well, it's only save DC of 13, but still, Gust of Wind spell.
So yeah, like that might somebody else, Brian or Carrie might want it.
Yeah.
We could save it for them.
You can stick it in your newly found bag of holding.
True, yes.
You should write that down, Freddie K.
I'm picking up the paper right now.
Yep, wind fan.
Yeah, we should give it to Carrie since they're the cleric. Like, if anyone comes hard after him, they can just go and
pull them away. Yeah.
Hopefully.
You said it was just called the wind fan?
Correct. You can put down in parentheses, say, save DC 13.
What type of save?
It is, well, it's a Gust of Wind spell. So it would be,
Dex.
yeah, I believe it's Dex. Oh my. So I want to apologize ahead of time for the Goldenfields maps. The Goldenfields map, and I will show you this first. I think I did an overview. I did. So this is what you are flying over. Oh my God, why is this not working? Stop. Thank you. So this is what you are flying over. This is like a 20-mile radius area. And the walls, the outside of the walls are 60 feet high. The inside of the walls, I believe, are 20 feet high. There is a parapet that goes all the way around these walls. And the walls are, where it says G2, these are towers that are topped with a Asian-style pagoda. The entrance to Goldenfields, down at the southwestern corner, G1, there is an enormous gate that enters in, and standing at this gate are two 60-foot tall statues of Shantia, the goddess of basically of food and harvest and sometimes fertility. Halflings really dig Shantia. And each of these statues is holding a large cornucopia of fruit, of food and wheat and bread. And they are on either side of this entry gate. Inside, there are fields of wheat, although right now the fields are bare because this is getting into the winter seasons. But there are also fruit groves and avocado groves, and there's an apple orchard, and I mean, everything that you could possibly imagine, including herbs and spices, are grown in this 20-mile radius. In the center of Goldenfields here is a small town that has been built up that is overseen by an abbey, a monk's abbey that oversees this small town. And so the giant, Zephyros, wants to know where you would like to be set down. And I will tell you, I apologize for the battle maps. I just couldn't find anything really decent for, and this will be in the future, for when you're dealing with these towns. And so I actually bought a map pack off of GM's Guild. And they're not bad maps per se, but they're not what we're used to. And so don't laugh too hard. They're a little cartoony. But where would you, he can set you down right in the town if you'd like. Or he can set you, if you want to announce your entry, he can set you down on North Furrow Road, going into the city gates, in which case he tells you, he's like, perhaps that would probably be the best solution so that you can announce your presence and whatnot. It'll be a little bit of a walk.
It might terrify them if we descend down from the thing right into the town. So I think I'll walk a little bit. That's my vote.
Yep, agreed.
Okay, so you guys sat down a little ways from the front city gates, and you make your way up. The North Furrow Trail ends with a magnificent stone gatehouse carved with the images of full-bodied woman, a representation of Shantia, cradling cornucopias. So she's a plump woman with a lot of food. The gatehouse is a fortress in its own right. Above its tall, thick wooden doors are narrow slits that seem to peer down suspiciously on all visitors. So the inner gates, they open up, and it's a double wall. So these gates open up, there's another set of gates, and there are, to tell you how big this gatehouse is that the gatehouse actually houses 30 guards. Just the gatehouse. And as you are coming through, the giant drops you off, and you are following a small caravan, or actually you're moving the opposite direction of a small caravan of carts that are heading south or southwest to Waterdeep. And you come up, and the guard stops your party and says, what is your business here in Goldenfields? They're friendly. Yeah, it seems like the guards are a little bit bored.
Well, we'll tell them that we're returning the Tresson.
That you're looking for Miros?
Yes, yeah.
He tells her, oh, Miros, yes. Miros can be found in the town. He will be found at... Hold on here. He says that if you just stay on the road, to the town, you will find an inn called North Furrow's End. Which is up here at G8. He says North Furrow's End is our is a large inn that we have here. The base level is a large tavern. They have rooms for rent, and Miros is the innkeeper there. And he looks at you and he says, just a word of warning, don't be surprised by his appearance.
We are a band of freaks, I'm sure we'll manage.
He doesn't seem to be overly surprised by Smokey or Scaly.
Huh. Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
Maybe somewhere with stigma.
So as you come in, they let you through the inner gate, and you are traveling along this road. You see that there are, in the distance here where G4 is, you can see to the southeast that there is a large grain tower. You can see that there are livestock fields here at G5, where they have cows and horses and things like that as you travel along this road. It takes you a little while, and by the time you get to the town proper, which is G6, it is getting to be dark. One square is 10 feet, so you can imagine, and this is zoomed way out. This is quite a distance. Here at G7, you see a large stone-built abbey. The abbey rings bells. Let's see here. It rings bells every 6 hours for worship at the abbey. They run multiple masses, all in reverence to Shantia, the goddess of fertility and food and harvest. And you continue on, and it's not a difficult route for you to make your way to North Furrow's End. It is a 3-story edifice with arched windows that offers a view of the surrounding gardens. Thin plumes of smoke issue from its many chimneys on rainy days and cold nights, which it is currently. The bitter cold of winter is starting to encroach on the fall of the Sword Coast. So it is wet. It is kind of that misty rain where it's not really raining. It's just that you're walking through water. You can't help it. But cold breezes are coming in off of the Sword Coast. Even this far inland, you're still getting that scent in the air of the salt water. And you make your way to the North Furrow Inn. North Furrow's End. And you walk into this large 3-story tall tavern, and the entire, it's like, I don't know if all of you have seen McMiniman's Edgefield, but it's like that. There's an entire complex here, and you go into the first floor, and the entire first floor is a tavern tap room, and behind the bar, and there are numerous barmaids moving around serving drinks and food. Behind the bar, you see this guy. Let me find him. There he is. Oop. There you go.
Okay.
And as you walk in, this rather hairy gentleman is polishing a beer mug, and you notice that the beer stein itself is actually made of polished oak with an engraved insignia of North Furrow's End on it, and you see a number of them sitting on the bar shelf behind him. And as you walk in, he says, "Welcome, travelers. What can I do for you?"
Have you noticed the Tresson? Or
The Tressum is probably sitting on Smokey's shoulder, kind of, you know how cats do, on your back, shoulder wrapped around your neck. And the Tressum looks up and goes, "Meow." And he looks at Smokey and he says, "Oh, my parents had a Tressum just like that."
someone with better charisma needs to break the news about.
Yeah, I can imagine Smokey. "Your parents are dead. Here's your cat."
There you go. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'll mess it up.
Seems like a paladin thing.
Yeah, I'll break the news to him carefully, diplomatically.
Nicely will do. Just not.
Yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Like, your parents are dead and I'm keeping your cat.
24.
Okay, so Miros sets down the mug and he goes, They're dead? But I just spoke to them 3 months ago."
They got crushed by a giant boulder.
They what? Oh, was it the giant attacks that we've heard about going all across the region?
Yep.
Yep.
He says, so that's Rilix then. Their cat. And he reaches over and he kind of scratches Rilix, but Rilix doesn't climb down off of Smokey. Smokey, make an animal handling check.
Nat 20.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Yeah, Rilix leans forward and gets scratches and licks his hand and then curls up next to Smokey's neck. And he says, "Well, I don't know. I've never been much of a Tressum person myself. I mean, it might be nice to have a cat around that is going to hunt down the rats, but it seems that you've made a bond with the creature. Would you be all right with keeping Rilix?"
Yep.
And he reaches over and scritches Rilix between the ears, and he says, I hope you're happy with your new family, Rilix." And he says, he tells the rest of you, he says, "Rooms and drinks are on the house. Any food that you want is on me. Please, this is my establishment. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you would like."
Well, that's nice.
And this is how you get a cat.
That's kind of how cats usually work, yeah.
You don't pick a cat, the cat picks you, right?
Yeah, well, that's how I end up with Simba. So, Simba, Christmas Day morning at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm loading in Christmas presents out of our car, and I hear this jingle jingle, and I'm like, somebody is fucking with me, right? And I look around and I don't see anything. And then I look down, and here's this black kitten with a ribbon that's too tight around their neck and a little jingle ball. And I'm like, oh, a kitten. And I open the door, and he walks into the house and goes right up to the food bowls like he fucking lives there. And I'm like, no, you can't be in here. And I put him back outside and I shut the door and I go to bed. And then I felt bad. And like an hour and a half later, it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I wonder if he's still out there. And I go downstairs and I open the front door and here's this kitten with frost and ice all around him. I'm like, God damn it. All right. I guess you live here now. And so I ended up with him for, 18 years. So that's how I got that cat. And so that's how you got a Tressum named Relix. So you guys all get rooms at the North Furrow Inn or North Furrow End, and Miros brings you over venison and fresh fruit and sweet potatoes and freshly baked bread and pitchers of ale. And standing near the fireplace, you see this halfling that starts playing a lute. And he's singing a song, and the crowd is kind of clapping around him, and there are children actually dancing, and this seems like a very, very happy place. Miros, when he brings over a plate, he says, yeah, if you're going to stay, you might want to go to the Abbey tomorrow and speak with Alarden Darwick. He is the town priest of Shantia. Let him know that you're here, and see if there's anything that adventurers such as yourselves might be able to do for the town. Otherwise, welcome to Goldenfields. Goldenfields is known as kind of the breadbasket of the Sword Coast. They grow literally everything that you could imagine. Most of the food is shipped to the southwest to Waterdeep, and then from Waterdeep distributed throughout the Sword Coast. So this is a enormous 20-mile wide farming community that's surrounded by a wall.
So, with it being a farming community, is there a pitchfork lying around?
More than likely, yes. Although, like I said, these and these fields are bare at the moment because they are wheat. I believe they're wheat fields. Let me double check that. They are. G13 are wheat fields, and they are bare. There are cornfields, there are rice paddies, but it is fall going into winter, so most of the orchards, trees, and whatnot are bare. This is the downtime winter season. So, yeah, you see some pitchforks laying around because they're laying down hay and whatnot. Also, Steve, go ahead and make a nature check. Actually, anybody can make a nature check.
Yay, 7. Steve's interested in pitchforks.
Yeah, you know there's pitchforks. What did Cleetaris get?
12.
Okay.
I got a soft
I'm sorry, what did Smokey get?
soft 20.
Nice. So, Smokey, you realize that because of the time of year, when you were walking in, you could see in the distance that here at G4, G4s are all grain towers. You would know that those towers at this time of year would be full. They're full of grain, ready to be either moved or whatnot. But the fields themselves have already been harvested, and in the spring they will be plowed up and ready for replanting.
So you guys all get your rooms at the North Furrows End and are able to get a good night's rest in a nice bed in a 3-story tall, essentially a manor house that has been converted to a inn. And we will stop there for this week, and we'll pick up next week. Or, I'm sorry, we will pick up, sorry, my bad. We'll pick up on January 8th of 2022. We're going to take a holiday break, and then we will come back.
If possible, I'm going to try to steal a pitchfork and trade it out for my quarterstaff and make it a devil pitchfork.
Sure, you can do that.
I have a tactical question for pondering before our next game session, and that is, lizard flying on broom, can I wild shape and still control the broom?
It's usually better on a broom.
Maybe. Let me double check the Broom of Flying.
So if whatever you wild shape into weighs more than 200 pounds, it'll slow it down, if nothing else. And then if it weighs more than 400, then it won't be able to carry you anymore.
Right, there's that.
It could be a badger on a broom.
Yeah.
You should modify it like Mad Eye Moody's broomstick in Harry Potter.
It just says speak the command word. It just says speak the command word, so I'm going to rule that as a free action.
So I don't have to be able to talk to steer the broom. Once I've activated it, I can wild shape and broom ride.
Correct.
So I'm imagining, what's the anime? Black Clover.
Oh, okay. I've seen parts of that, yeah. So, yeah, you could speak the command word as an action to make the broom hover. It would take an action to mount it. But once you're flying, yes, you could wild shape. You only have to have a problem if you are over 200 pounds into whatever you wild shape. Like, you probably want to ignore, like, a rhinoceros or something like that, but yes.
Yeah. I just want to know if I can be a flying badger until I land, and then I can...
Well, the other thing to consider is you need something that can hang on to the broom.
Yeah.
Which generally is going to require legs and prehensile hands. So perhaps instead of a badger, maybe a raccoon would be doable.
You could turn into an octopus and fly around squirting ink at people.
There's that.
That's true. That would be great.
Yeah.
You'd be able to grip into that really good.
There is that.
Ink in your eye.
I will forget stuff that happened and will require a refresher when we come back in January.
Oh, there will be a refresher. Don't worry. I know that you guys are staying at North Furrow End, and I will, which is here at G8. I will remind you. We will pick up right where we left off. Not to worry.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one, guys. So, Jeff, I will shut this down.